Now I'm going to show the concept and the mechanics of the classic armbar from the mount. Okay. So first thing you do is control one arm. Okay. Usually, the basic one I will do a cross grip, so I will grab his right arm with my right arm as well. Okay. Note that now he has his back flat on the ground. Both shoulders are on the ground. Okay. One basic escape of the armbar is when the opponent he comes with me here. Okay. So the whole concept of you doing a correct armbar here, it's make sure he doesn't have the momentum and the ability to defend himself. That means a good armbar when you are always one step ahead. Okay. So once I have control here, my other hand will control the lapel that is closer to the arm, okay? And I'm going to choke him here, all right? This choke, it's not effective in terms of submission, all right? The only idea here of this choke is make sure he turns his head, all right? And turn his body, because if he stays straight here, he's going to tap out. So it's so easy to defend that he turns his head to the side and the choke doesn't work anymore. He puts himself in a comfortable position. Automatically, when he turns his head to the side, he brings his shoulder up. That's what I want now, okay? So that helps. When I choke him here and I continue to pull the arm to me, he takes his back off the mat, okay? So once I do that, I will walk forward with my legs, okay, to put my weight on his chest. And now I bring this knee up here and I will lock on his rib cage, okay? So, on the beginning, my body is in this direction here. Right before the armbar, I adjust myself and we will be in a perpendicular position here. Okay? See my knee now, it's behind his neck, it's locking him. My leg is locking his back, so he doesn't put his back flat on the mat anymore. That's what I want, because as you know, the armbar, I need to pass my leg over the head. I will finish here on a bridge, okay, with my both feet on the ground, my knees compressing each other, and I will fully extend his arm here, okay. As I said before, the escape, he can go after me, following me here, okay. So the whole idea about turning him to the side is that he needs some time to move from this position where he has his back flat on the ground to follow me here, alright? If I put him on the opposite direction, he needs more time to come back to the original position and then go after me. That's the trick that you need to do. It guarantees you to be one step ahead, because by the time he tries to escape, that's going to be too late for him to follow me. Alright, we're going to perform now an armbar from the mount position, and this armbar is very useful for competition, okay? The concept here that I'm going to use is this. When you fight someone, you either need to be a step ahead, or you need to drive his line of thinking to other direction, okay? So what I'm going to do now here is like I'm going to go for a cross choke on the mount, which it's not my primary goal. I still look for the armbar, but that's going to put him in a position that he needs to defend and think about the choke, and then I'm going to be one step ahead and go for the armbar. So pretty much I pull this collar and I do the first grip here did on the neck, okay? Now my other hand will come around all the way around his head, and I'm going to control his gi on the shoulder here. That enables me to create pressure on his neck, okay? So, at the same time now that I'm going to bring this hand here, you can try to drive this arm up and across his head here, and then you move your knee forward and lock right here. See that I'm in full mount now? I have my weight distributed on my knees, okay? As I move forward here, I kind of move my right leg there, and I will bring I bend my leg, bring my knee up, and I keep my foot against his rib here. At the same time now, I'm going to be on the position to choke him. Alright? See that he's on the right position for the armbar, and I'm giving him a hard time and he's thinking about the choke. While he's defending the choke, you move forward, so when you push your groin or your belly against his elbow here, make sure that it's tighter, the grip. My gravity center, it's on top of his body, okay? And then I'm all set here to pass the leg over. Let the gi go. I don't want to control the lapels anymore. And I'll bring the arm with me. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Now I'm going to show the double arm bar on the mount position. Okay? So once I have the mount, I'm going to scoop my arms here inside under his arms, and I will drive them up here. And I'll lock my hand on my wrist right here. Right here. Okay? As soon as you get this grip done, you walk forward and you compress your knees against your opponent. Okay? As soon as I lock here, I'm going to put my opposite leg to the side and under his shoulder here. Okay? So that's the position I'm going to do. And I'm turning myself sideways already to be perpendicular against him. Alright? So I'm going to put myself in the right position and I'm compressing his shoulder with his arms so everything is tight here and I have a good balance. Alright? So once you're here, you can work with his arm, okay? So you can go attack the other arm, you can attack this arm here, okay? Like you can play with so many things. But our aim now is going for the arm bar, the elbow arm bar, okay? So once you're here, keep coming around his arms here, make it, see that I was low, and I'm driving his arm, extending the arm here, and I'm ready to pass my other leg on top of him, and I have both hands, okay? He doesn't have a hand to tap out here. So he needs to tap out with his foot or verbally, alright? So knees compress each other. Avoid to cross your feet here. Feet always trying to touch the ground, okay? Because I need to do the bridge. Small bridge, but that's enough to apply vibration. Okay. Now I'm going to do the arm bar standing, and I'm going to pull him to my guard, but I'm not going to close the guard. I'm going straight to the arm bar. Very effective arm bar for tournaments. Okay. So here I am, disputing takedowns with my opponent. Okay. When I can offer my collar to him, so that's what I want. He's working on my collar. Now, I will control his gi under the triceps, okay? And I have his collar now below the line of the chin, okay? That's important. You don't want to go too up here to this one, okay? So, I'm comfortably holding here, alright? Now, I'm going to put myself away from him and make sure that he does the same. So, I step back away from him and I will bend my back, okay? Try to keep your forehead against his forehead. Okay, this way you're preventing yourself to be taken down by him, and that's the right position to approach for the armbar. Okay, so once you're here, on the same side you are controlling the arm, I'm going to step forward. Okay, my foot is going to be exactly on the line of his elbow. Okay, so that's the position. All right. So by the time that I step forward, directly, my back leg will go all the way up here and will lock him on his armpit right there, okay? You cannot do that. Stay in front of him, okay? Don't try to be in front of your opponent as the guard position right here, okay? This arm bar, you need to go straight to the side and even past this imaginary line here, okay? So here I am. I'm going to step forward, I'm going to put the right leg all the way up here, and I'll drive myself to the side. Right here, okay? See that I went about like 100 degrees from my start position, okay? Now I'll pass my leg over the neck. My hips are not down during the move. I bridged and I'm locking here, okay? I have more leverage with my hand under the triceps, and now I just lock him on the ribs. This spinning that I created, okay, with speed, makes him lose the balance, and most likely he will lose the balance and he will be swept here automatically, okay? So that will be most likely the final position, okay? Sometimes he can tap out standing, but most likely the speed is so much that he will fall. Alright, we're gonna do now the arm bar, the fly arm bar, that is effective for competition, okay? So pretty much I'm exchanging grips and I'm locking with him here, alright? And I'm gonna always work on the arm that is extended, okay? So as soon as he controls my collar, I'm gonna hold the gi here under the triceps, alright? That's the best grip I can do, and it will be very effective to create more leverage at the end, okay? My other hand is on the collar here, on the line of the chin, okay? That's enough for you, alright? Now, I'm gonna put my opposite leg that I'm working on his ribs here. So I will cross, come with my leg across, alright? My knee position, like on the knee and the belly position. And then I will get off the ground, alright? A common mistake when people do that, it's like take the leg here and drop your head right there. So that doesn't work because you drop your weight on the ground and that will be too late to you pass the leg over his neck here, okay, to walk like a classic arm bar, alright? So once I bring my leg here, I will get off the ground and I will pass the other leg around the head here. So in slow motion, it will be like that. I don't need this grip here anymore, so let this go and go for the wrist immediately, okay? Now just do the bridge here, alright? Keep the knee pressure in here to make sure it's tight. And that hand that is under the triceps is creating more leverage because it's one thing between him and my groin, okay? So that's a good grip. Some people like to go with this grip instead the collar behind the neck, which is good too. Actually, you bring him to the ground quick as you drive his head down, okay? So once you're here, go for the head and go. Okay. Alright, now we're going to train the arm bar when I'm jumping into the guard, okay? It's very effective for tournaments and self-defense too, alright? Here's how we do it. Two different approaches. One for tournaments, when he has the gi, okay? So you take advantage of having something to grab. The other one for self-defense, it's in a situation that you need to attack an aggressor. And you don't need to worry if the guy has a t-shirt, if he has a jacket, or if he doesn't have anything. So you just go to lock the position as a no-gi technique, okay? So here I am fighting standing, okay? And you're going to jump into the guard, alright? And as you close your guard, at the same time you need to be working on your grips already, okay? So I'm going to jump into the guard, and I cannot stop here and then walk because he has his posture already. Okay. So by the time you jump, you need to start to climb up the legs. Okay. Like in the same technique of the armbar from the guard on the closer guard on the ground. Okay. So a good position here. So I'm using the same. A basic armbar here, the basic concept is you work with the cross grip, but once you're standing up, it's too difficult to work on this grips here, okay? So basically do the same grip that we did before. Triceps control, and you start here, because I'm disputing some takedowns here with him, and I decide to go to the armbar. So I like you to release this collar here and go for the neck, okay? So once I'm here, I will jump and I'm climbing, and I'm compressing my legs over his shoulder and I'm bringing him down here, okay? Now I'm all set to go for the armbar here. And then I finish here, doing the bridge to create leverage, okay? This is once we are locked already, okay? Both of us have the grips here and I'm fighting, trying to take down, and then I decide to go for the armbar, climbing, and bring him here. And then I go for the armbar, okay? You can do that without having the grips locked already. So you're fighting him here, and you just go, same position, and you bring him with you, all right? So let's do one more time. Which this is the same concept now for the self-defense situation. If you have an aggressor, okay, you need to act, you need to take him down and control someone. You know, you just go after him, you know, and bring him here. So you don't give, once you're doing this move, you don't give time to him to react. So you just go after him and control him. Alright, now we're going to do the arm bar on the ballooning guard here, okay? So pretty much the concept is take advantage of when the opponent is standing up, okay? And he's not controlling his balance well. So the ballooning concept is controlling the sleeves, okay? Then I have my feet on his hips. Now I'm going to pull him to me. And at the same time I pull, I extend my legs, okay? Now I have full control and he's off the ground, okay? So you can do the arm bar here right away, juggling with him, okay? So pretty much the trick is like make him turn sideways, okay? And then we'll be in a good position to pass the leg and execute the arm bar, all right? So once I'm bringing him here, during this push, here's the thing. I'm gonna extend my right leg more than the left one, okay? So my right leg is extended and the left is a little bent. Now, see how he's twisting a little bit sideways? So that's the move that I need to do to make sure I go for the arm bar, okay? So, as I extend my leg, I'm going to take my left leg already and set up to pass over the head, all together, okay, like that. So once again. So the final position is the classic arm bar, both feet on the ground, knees compress each other, control the wrist, arm fully extended, and breathe. Now I'm going to show the arm bar on the butterfly guard. So here I am on the butterfly guard. Okay. So basically I have both sleeves, all right, and I have his arms outside my legs, and I open my knees against his arms. Okay. So that makes sure I make sure that I have a strong and tight grip here, and both of us, if we move, we will go to the same direction. Okay. So I can drive his upper body here, and I have total control of my opponent. Now I'm going to put one leg across on inside here. You can even try to put both feet together here as a reference so you remember how you do that, okay? So I put my shin on the bed and my knee drops out here, all right? Now I'm going to pull this arm to me, okay? So I come from here to here. I will let this grip go, all right? and I will go with this leg around, all the way around him, alright? So my leg is going to lock on his neck here, behind his head, okay? My knee is against his shoulder here, so both knees are together here, okay? During this move, I will rotate my upper body, okay? I will roll to this side over this shoulder. You can put this hand on the ground, and now this is the leg that's going to lock on his neck, and I'm doing that already. You see that I'm rotating over my head. This arm here, so I'll switch the grip, and I'll have control of him here, okay? So that's the final position, okay? So what happens is this leg doesn't go all the way here, it stays here, alright? So I move my leg inside, I pull my opponent, I let the arm go, and I start to move around him here. The double arm bar on the guard position, okay? So here I am on the guard. I'm going to put my hands under his armpit and all the way inside, and I will lock around his back here. And I will sit up at the same time. It's very important to keep the guard closed and sit up to reach him here. Now I bring him down with me, okay? By the time that I'm bringing him down, I'm opening my elbows, and I will come around, compressing his arm, and I will cross my hands in front of his head here already. That move drives his hands behind my neck, okay? And I will lock on my elbows here, okay, the grip. Now that this is done, in one move, I will open my guard, and I will climb up over his shoulders, and I will lock again. But that's only one move, okay? So there's no climbing, step by step here. From here, I'll go straight here, okay? Once you're here, I'm going to extend my legs, making a bridge with my hips, extending my whole body. That drives him up. Once I do this, see that my hip is going off the ground and his hand, it's sliding, and it's going to be on the right position here for an arm bar. So my arms slide down from the elbow to his wrist. Okay? So once I'm here, I'm able to pass one leg over his head, and the second one locks as a triangle lock here. Now I'm able to choose which arm I'm going to do the arm bar. Okay? But most likely you can only keep the pressure here and do the bridge. Alright, now I'm going to do an arm bar from the guard, and the opponent will defend. He'll do his first block, okay? And then I will do an inverted arm bar. I'm going to do a spinning on inside him, okay? So I go for the arm bar, and he blocks. So as soon as he blocks, I'm going to do the chain grip here, my elbow joint on his elbow joint, and I secure my collar. So you can give the collar to the hand, okay? Now my other hand will go all the way between us, okay? And I will reach his other side here, it's his leg, okay? Right here. So I go all the way, and I start spinning around him. By the time I'm moving, I'm breaking his grip right here because he can't hold the pressure as my body is twisting, okay? So the arm goes, and I'm able to extend, okay? See that the trick here is this. I'm sideways, so I have my shoulder, my left shoulder on the ground. I don't have my back on the ground at all. And I keep extending his arm here, okay? So as you have your, as much sideways as you can, instead here, see here he doesn't feel anything. As I turn my body, look, he's stepping already, because I'm extending in the opposite direction, okay? So a common mistake is when people are here, they try to pull the arm here like that. That's wrong. You gotta turn your shoulders and make sure you're facing almost the ground here, and then he taps out, okay? I'm going to show now the armbar in the north-south position, okay? So, once I have control of my opponent, okay, I need to bring my hips off the ground to attack him, okay? So once I'm going to work on some submission here, I'm going to come around the arm, okay? And I will hold my lapel, so I give my collar to the hand again, okay? My other side, I'm going to control his elbow, okay? I will bring his elbow close to my leg, and I will pass my leg over his biceps. And a common mistake is people passing the leg off my arm, and you need to put inside, okay? Another mistake is when people pass the arm all the way. Don't do that. It's just the knee, so my foot will hook on his arm here, and I'll drop my weight. So I have control of the arm with the leg. I don't need this hand here anymore. Okay, you can just put the hand on the ground and be ready to finish the move. Okay, so this grip here needs to be tight. Okay, so a trick here is you keep your head against his arm, making pressure. Okay, so I pull my arm towards me and I push my hand against my arm. So that keeps pressure and makes sure the arm is tight and I have control here. Okay. So once you're here, the opposite leg, I will bring my knee up and I will bring towards his back. So that makes sure that he's sideways, he's off the ground, and he can't go back. Okay? So once I'm here, I'll just turn my body in a perpendicular position. Okay? I'll keep the pressure, my knees against each other. Okay? That's important. And now I'll slide down here. Tap, tap. Control the arm, give your collar, keep the pressure, bring the elbow, pass the leg over, the opposite knee goes up, turn him to the side, put the shin against his back, don't let him go back, turn yourself to the side, that's it. Just sit down, keep the pressure, and go down here controlling the arm. Tap, tap. Alright, now we're going to train the arm bar on the side control, but I'm not going to do the basic one on this side, okay? I'm going to do on the opposite arm, alright? So here I am on side control. First thing to do is make sure you're controlling the opposite arm. So you do an inside grip here with your right arm around his arm, and you lock your elbow joint on his armpit here, okay? Then the hand grips on my collar, so you can even give the collar to your hand, and then you drop your head and you make sure you have a tight grip here, alright? Now, see that I bring my arm against his rib and I make sure everything's tight, okay? I have this hand here on the ground. I have also my knee against his head here, and his elbow against his head too. So I make sure I have control of the head there, alright? So from here, I'm going to put my right knee on the belly, okay? I bring him to me. Now I extended this arm here, and I make sure I take his back off the mat, okay? So once I'm here now, I'm all set to do this, to spin around him and lock my shin on his back. So as soon as I pass this leg here, and I lock my shin here, that doesn't allow him to go back, okay? So I gain momentum to avoid him to escape. So once I lock here, I just finish the spin position, and I sit down, okay? So note that my other leg, it's all set, I didn't do anything, and it's on the right position already, okay? So around his head, and my foot is touching the ground to allow me to do the bridge, okay? My knees, I will do pressure against themselves here, okay? So knees against each other all the time, all right? Note that a common mistake is people that waste time passing this leg over. It's unnecessary, okay? The arm bar is very effective this way too, as long as you keep the pressure here. A lot of people also, they're working on the grip here on the collar, and they let this go to control the arm here. That's unnecessary. Once I have this grip here, and I lay down, automatically my elbow joint here will bring and it will extend this arm here. Look. Let's bring it to the right position. Okay? So that's unnecessary. Okay, here we are in the headlock on side control here, okay? Now I'm going to do an arm bar to my opponent. So here I have control of the head, and I keep my head down to avoid his escapes, okay? First thing you need to do is bring my knee towards his ear, okay? That's very important. You don't allow any room, any distance between your leg and his head. So make sure you bring his arm up, okay, and drive your knee towards his head. Okay, that's the first move. Alright? To have a better control here, you can even avoid to hold the gi here on the shoulder and hold your ligament on your leg here. That makes sure you have your leg close to his head. And anything that he does, you're not going to let this go. Okay? So that's a strong grip. Now I'm going to control his wrist here. And I extend his arm down, okay? As soon as the arm is extended, I'm going to switch the grip from my hand to my ankle. So I'm going to pass my ankle, my foot, on top of his wrist, okay? Then I don't need his hand anymore, all right? So as soon as you push the arm down, switch the grip, and lock the triangle here, immediately. Once you have this, you don't need the hand anymore. How you apply leverage here? The arm is extended. I have my hip on the ground, my left side is touching the ground. I have my elbow on the ground too. And I have my right foot on the ground. You are going to have only the right foot and the elbow on the ground. All my weight will be distributed on foot, elbow, and my ribs that are on top of his chest. Your hip and your knee needs to be off the ground. So I'm going to do a bridge and elevate my hip. Good. And then he's stepping up already. Okay, so this is a dangerous arm bar. Okay, so be careful when you train. Okay, so first thing, bring your leg up. You can lock here as an option. Push down his wrist. Shift the grip. Hand by the foot. Close the triangle. Now elevate your hip off the ground. Tap, tap. Alright, now we're going to do the arm bar on the escape of the headlock on the side control. Okay? So he has control. And he has a headlock here on the side control. Okay. First thing I need to do is protect this arm here. Grabbing his back or my hand, okay? Because he can attack me and do an arm bar here, alright? So make sure first you're protecting your arm, okay? If you're fighting gi, you can hold it back here on the cloth. Okay? Now, I'm going to do the escape, so I need to walk and be in the same line as my opponent, okay? So I'm going to move to my left side as much as I can. Now, my left hand will be on against his neck here, and I'll push his head up a little bit, just enough to me lock his neck with my knee joint, with my left leg here. So make sure you bring your hips off the ground and you are able to catch it here. Okay, that's the escape, or the second immobilization, or the headlock. Okay. So by the time you're escaping, if you let this leg under him, you get stuck on the move. Look. So it gets difficult to get up. So during the move, you need to take this leg under. Okay. If you do the move with speed, you'll be right in a good position to do the armbar right away. Okay. So it's perfect here. As much as he's holding me here and using strength, that's good for me because I can counter with the armbar here. So I take my leg under now, and I bring the knee on the rib, and I sit down, and I control the arm here. Okay. So protect your arm, move to the side in the same line, push his head, hips off the ground, catch him. You take your leg under right now. You can get on the knees quickly and control the arm here. I'm going to be on the bottom, and you have to do that in one situation, which is when the opponent is with his hands, his arms around you. Okay, so he's coming around you and holding you. All right. So here I am on the bottom. He's on top of me, controlling my upper body here. Pick one side, okay, and with one hand, we will come around his arm above the elbow line here. Okay, as much as you can, and you're gonna bring the hand in on the inside here, and you bring his arm with you, so you're gonna make pressure, pulling him here. All right. Now you're gonna put your forehead on the ground, okay, and you're gonna go with your other hand against his wrist here. All right. Now I'm gonna switch my base, okay, as a basic like hip twist drill. All right. So as soon as I do that, I'm going to bring my head up and I take him down. Okay? So here's the final position. So I finished here. Okay? So I'm going to push down his arm. You can control your collar here to make sure you have a tight grip. Okay? You can do this grip before or after. Okay? Right? Of course you should do that before if you can. Okay, so make sure you have this tight, and just push down his arm here. Okay, that's it. Alright, now we're going to do a variation of the extended armbar on the reversal of the all fours position. Okay, so pretty much it's the same situation. He's grabbing me. I'm going to come around the arm, put my head down, control his wrist, and make sure this time you have control of your collar, okay, from the beginning. Now instead I switch my hips and take him down to the other side, I'm going to flip myself and go on my back and finish in a bridge position. So from here, extending his arm here, alright? And elevating his arm. All right. Make sure you have a bridge at the end. Okay. So you're here. You can even try to move yourself to the other way just a little bit. You will feel that you're going to go to the other way. He opposites. He creates resistance and actually makes it easier to go to the other way here. Okay. Now we're going to do the arm bar on the back grab. Okay. So once you have your both puts in, I'm going to control the arm, and my arm is going inside the armpit, and I'll control the sleeve here. Now I'm going to move his elbow forward in diagonal here a little bit, just to dislocate his balance here. Now I'm going to move myself in the same direction, okay? So I'm going to move all my body forward, and I will put my head on the ground here, all right? Now my right hand is going to push his head up a little bit, and I'm going to pass my right leg around his head, okay? Now you don't need this hand anymore. You can have the hand on the ground. You're going to flex up both legs, okay? That's the move you're going to do to lock on his neck here. Now I'm adjusting the position. Everything is tight, okay? To make the roll here, I'm going to continually flex up my right leg, but my left leg, it's going to straight, okay? I'm going to only extend my leg down, okay? The left leg. That creates leverage, and my hip will have power enough to flip him over easily, okay? So that's the move that I made. And then I have the traditional arm bar here, all right? So, if you are able to grab your collar during the move, after I adjust myself here, it's even better, okay? So now I'm going to lock my hand to the collar, okay? So it's a good grip tool. Once you lock here, extend the left leg and flex the right leg here. That breaks his balance. And now I have control of the arm again. Alright, now I'm going to perform the arm bar in the turtle position. So first I put myself on the side of my opponent, and I make sure I have his knee, okay, inside, between his leg and his arm here, on the opposite side, okay? Just put your knee on the ground and exactly under him, alright? Put your weight, your rib and your chest against his back here, alright, to make pressure. This knee off the ground, okay, because you don't want to have the knee close to him, neither your foot close to him, because he can catch and take you down, okay? So you work with your leg away from him, alright? Now, I'm going to go on inside under the armpit, and I'll control the sleeve here, okay? That's the first grip. The second hand here will go on top of his neck, and I will kind of pull his head to me, and I will pass my foot over his head here, and my foot is going to be right inside here, in this room here, between his arms, okay? So I pull his head, and I'll lock his neck with my foot here, okay? Now I can put the hand on the ground to keep my balance, and my left knee, from here, I'll pass over his back, okay? My shin is going to be on his lower back, and my knee will not touch the ground, and neither will be on his back. My knee is going to be here, alright? As you can see where my hand is, that's the position where my knee will be, okay? So I'm here, hand on the ground. I will pass my leg all the way bent, like that, okay? That's the position. So don't put your knee on your opponent's back, okay? Just put your weight like that, alright? So once I pass my leg here, I'm going to flex my right leg, that it's controlling his head. I'm going to do a side roll over my shoulder, and I'm going to finish the roll. Control the wrist, knees compressing each other, and then I have the arm bar. Tap, tap. Now we're going to train a counter, okay? The opponent is doing a sotogari, so it's a basic takedown, and I'm going to react doing an armbar, okay, on his mistake. When someone does the sotogari, they need to follow up with two things. One, drop themselves and stabilize on side control immediately, or put the knee on the bed right away. So a lot of people, they perform the takedown, and they keep standing, okay? So thinking about what to do next, all right? If I'm facing an opponent that is thinking too much, that gives me a chance to react and counter with an armbar. So here he comes with the sotogari. Okay? So as I fall, and he stays standing here, see that he's trying to put the knee on the belly, but he didn't do it yet. That gives me time to bring my leg, my knee between me and him, and I'm going to move up here, all right, to the rib cage. Okay? So as soon as I fall, bring your leg up, but not only that, the hip cannot be on the ground, okay? I need to bring my hip off the ground, because my right leg will lock on the rib, and my left leg will go around the head, okay? Another mistake that people do is that after the takedown, if the opponent's too strong, usually they keep holding my collar here. And that's good for me, because he's extending, he's offering me the arm here. Okay, so I don't need to worry about the arm, he's giving it to me. You just control the triceps. As I said before, that creates more leverage for the arm bar in all positions you can imagine. During the arm bar, if you have the opponent's arm here and your arm under, you just need to do a small bridge, and then that's it for the arm bar. Okay, so I was holding the arm already when we were exchanging takedowns. So leg up, hips up, and I catch him here. Okay. So my hand that was in the collar will secure the wrist, and I'll keep doing the bridge here. So he takes me down, and I bring the leg up immediately here. See how my hips are off the ground, that's important. That enables me to lock behind his neck, keep the pressure of the knees. My hand is under the triceps, so I just need to pull the wrist a little bit and he's stepping right. Without the hand there, I need to pull the arm more, look. Okay? Okay, now we're going to train an arm bar we call street arm bar. Okay, so it's useful for self-defense situations for one reason. Any traditional arm bar where you pass your leg over your opponent like that, he can bite you, okay, and that can be very hurtful, and that can compromise your ability to submit the opponent, okay, especially in any real life-threatening situation. You don't know how hard his attack will be and how much damage it can create on you. So a wise jiu-jitsu fighter doesn't do these traditional arm bars in a real self-defense situation. We use the street arm bar. So by the time I control his arm here and I move forward, all right, I'm going to pass my opposite leg all the way around his head here. And I'm going to put my foot behind his neck. Okay. Now I'm going to move on top of him a little bit to make sure I have my weight on him. And you can bring this foot together and lay down here. Okay. So the reason for that is making sure you have your knees against each other. Okay. Compressing. And then I pull the arm up. You have the option to pass the leg here if you feel you can control and not be in danger of a bite. Okay. And you can also kick him on the head here if you want. Okay. So the final position will be knees against each other, and then you pull the arm. So here's the arm bar. You get the palm. Okay. Control the arm here. Move forward. Pass the leg all the way around his head quickly. Drop your weight on him here. Bring your foot together, and then you control him. You can step on his head, you can kick his face. Okay? Keep your knees together at all times, and then extend the arm.